been done.
I'm still here.
For what? Why? Because you just want to be a asshole.
You're right.
Then why the would you be in this competition?
I'm here.
Bone face.
Why do you look 50 and you're 24?
What? What did you say? Go yourself, you.
Would you rather have the brand new PS5 or a weekend with these three lovely ladies and you can do anything you want with them?
Wait, anything with them?
Like anything.
A whole weekend?
A whole weekend.
Damn, with the PS5 though, like it just.
I know.
Ah, damn, y'all beautiful though, but.
Hold on, what'd you say?
PS5 or us?
Oh,
bro, y'all beautiful, but I had a PlayStation 4 for 4 years, bro. I need a PS5.
My nigga.
I feel like homie head should be normal. I have friends that I'll just go over to their house because I want to show off a little bit, and then on the way out, I'll dap them up and act like nothing happened, and we'll just talk like we're homies, because we are.
Y'all, so this dude came in my DM yesterday. He was like, "You're pretty, I'm trying to get to know you." He literally sent me $1,000 just to get to know me. And y'all literally sit here and think I'm gonna get to know y'all for free when somebody just paid me $1K for him to get to know me? Be so for real.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
You know what I love to see? I love to see when the ex leaves and does everything that I asked them to do for somebody else. That just makes me know that I wasn't the issue. It was you. And you realized you was the issue, but you was so goddamn prideful on changing your ways. You rather had changed your partner and then try to be better for them. That's cool. Listen, God works in mysterious ways, and maybe that was a blessing for me. Maybe that's a blessing for them. However, it brings me peace to know that I was right.
What kind of shit is that?
Would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not. No.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
What's up, y'all? It's Cali West. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're feeling this shit. So, yo, I ain't gonna hold y'all boys tonight. My bad. I ain't gonna hold y'all boys up tonight. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of our members are part of the coach gang. You know, I gotta catch that. Plus, the homie, the big homie, he's having a debate about the whole sisterhood and TMR situation, but I think that's on fake book. But anyway, we're gonna wrap a little bit because I do believe this is something that we need to discuss. Are single mothers responsible for exposing their children to danger? Now, me and a young lady had a discussion on my channel recently, and basically she hit and hard. And basically, she was trying to blame, either black men being mischievous and or the black community just, basically raising, sexual deviance, which I strongly disagree with because I do believe that, it comes from somewhere. There's no way that it could just be unilaterally, just man or woman just deciding just to be mean to these kids. We know that it's probably rooted from, single mother homes who are, of these kids who are exposed to family members, strangers, and friends or other people who might be sexual deviants. Now, of course, I don't know if y'all heard about this situation, but I'll bring it up on the screen here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but it clearly shows, it says, Terrebonne Parish teen burned, raped, and shot. Mother and boyfriend arrested. Look at these sons of bitches, man. Mama and, you know what I'm saying, stepdaddy or, you know, the child's boyfriend. Now, the Terrebonne Parish office held a news conference. Let's see here, and I'll make it larger. That's what she said. Now, the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office held a news conference Thursday, which is actually today. No, actually a few days ago. I think last week. An arrest made in the case described as an attempt homicide and torture of a teenager outside of Thibodaux, somewhere in Louisiana. The sheriff issued a new release on Wednesday announcing that Terrence Washington and Latanya Harris was arrested in connection with the investigation. Now, the sheriff said that on April 21st, their office was in contact with Baytown, Texas Police Department regarding a crash that happened in the area. According to the sheriff, Baytown police officers responded to a crash on the I-10 East when the driver, identified as Washington, had a gun and was taken to custody. That is when sheriff said police found that 15-year-old who was badly burned and shot in the chest and face.
When I served, my work was critical.
Oh, no. You ain't selling nothing that's going in my pockets. No, sirree, Bob. Oh, shit. Better late than never. XL Pro, the mod with the most come through, and he says, like and share and subscribe. Salute to the righteous spirit. Yeah. I'm glad you came in, XL Pro, because you could maybe tell me what you think about this heinous situation. I don't know if maybe you might have told me about this situation, or one of somebody from Facebook told me about this. Either you or somebody. But somebody told me about this, and this is something that, Diddy this, Diddy that. You know what I'm saying? They always want to talk about Diddy did it. You know what I'm saying? Diddy did, Diddy down, Diddy did this, he abusive, he this, he that. But nobody want to recognize when, young women are getting abused by their own parents. I think this is a more important case than, saying the diddler, because I believe, look, and I'll say it, and I'll do this, and I'm going to stand on the hill, that I mean. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about the whole Cassie getting abused situation, because as far as I'm concerned, Cassie was a volunteer. You know what I'm saying? Well, do I advise for anyone to put their hands on anyone, whether it's a man or woman? No. But I cannot feel sorry for someone who decided to be with someone who had a history of shooting up the club, history of breaking other, people's managers' arms and stuff like that. I don't give a fuck. I can't feel sorry for you. You're so scary, but you decided to go back with a man.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
XL Pro says Cassie was a paid volunteer. Facts 100. It's undeniable. See, but we can start we're gonna bring the fire to the community before we join the rest of the coach gang. Ain't that right, yo? Hopefully I can hear that, because volume ain't that good because I can't hear no one here.
Good. We all ready? All right. First of all, welcome to Terrebonne Parish here. Certainly under some pretty disturbing circumstances brings us here today. We are here to discuss a case that sort of culminated with work from the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office and also the Baytown Police Department investigation that sort of came to light on April 20th of this year. Since that time, our detectives have been working very closely with the Baytown Police Department to come to a resolution, and we're proud to say that we have 2 people in custody. The first you'll see is a LaTanya Harris. She is a 40-year-old female from Thibodaux, and also a Terrence Washington, who is a 41-year-old male from Thibodaux as well. So just for the sake of being clear, Ms. Harris is currently incarcerated here in Terrebonne Parish on a multitude of charges, and we will discuss those as we go on. Terrence Washington is still in custody at the Harris County Correctional Facility in Texas, and he is awaiting extradition to our area. Okay. We will have 3 speakers today, and then I'm going to take an opportunity to introduce each and every person that's here on our panel. So the first speaker.
Okay. I didn't know it was going to go that long. I thought he was going to go straight to the point, but this is what we want to hear.
21st, a wreck. Terrence, year-old female, was by DCFS of Washington, 41 years of Thibodaux. Because that victim showed resilience to the
Sheriff's Office. We have Lieutenant for the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office. Okay.
Check this out.
At this time, I'm going to turn this over to Sheriff Tim Saunier.
All right, thank you all for being here. First of all, I got 3 words to say. My prayers go out to the victim, and there's 3 words. I'm going to talk about resilience, because that victim showed resilience to be a survivor, and bottom line, from a Marine's perspective, she was a true warrior in the survival of that. So I'll continue to pray for that young lady and her recovery. So I'll kind of go over the facts. It's a 15-year-old female victim, and we're obviously not going to release her name. The 2 suspects were LaTanya Ann Harris, 40 years old of Thibodaux, and Terrence Washington, 41 years of Thibodaux. This one's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But we have Baytown. We have a representative for Baytown Police Department. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. It's a tough one. And my detectives, thank you. Thank you. Because we're gonna make sure justice is served for that victim. To give you some more facts, on April 21st, 2024, at approximately 8:30, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office was notified by DCFS of an abuse case that is being investigated by Baytown Police Department. The abuse was discovered as a result of a traffic crash investigated, which occurred on I-10 East in Baytown, Texas. When Baytown officers arrived on the scene, they located a driver armed with a handgun, who was taken into custody by Baytown Police Department. Baytown PD located 2 adults and 2 juveniles in a vehicle. The adult driver was identified as Terrence Washington. Adult from the front passenger was identified as LaTanya Harris, along with a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old female passengers. The 15-year-old female was found to be suffering from large-scale burns to the majority of her upper body and multiple gunshot wounds. She was transported to a local hospital in a home in Houston, Texas area. Through the investigation, detectives learned that mid-February 2024, the juvenile female was burned after LaTanya Harris had learned of a sexual assault committed on the juvenile by her fiance, Terrence Washington. Harris burned the juvenile with flammable liquid in a lighter at the Thibodaux residence in Terrebonne. It was later determined that the victim received 3rd and 4th degree burns over 30% of her body. Since the intentional burning in mid-February, Harris and Washington both denied medical treatment to the juvenile. In the weeks leading to April 21st, a wreck, Terrence Washington shot the juvenile on 2 separate days within the residence. Washington Harrison placed the two juveniles in a vehicle where they drove to Texas and crashed while Washington was driving recklessly. The juvenile was found with life-threatening injuries and being treated for gunshots and burns injuries by multiple hospitals in the Houston, Texas area. LaTanya was arrested for 1 count of attempted first-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree cruelty to a juvenile, and 1 count of domestic abuse, battery, and a child endangerment. Harris is currently being held in Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's for a $1 million bond.
Yo, as you should, straight up. Yo, I hope the mother and the boyfriend gets the highest time and you know what I'm saying, and the most time, and I hope justice is definitely served for these motherfuckers, man. Because this man, I'm quite sure this shit was probably getting child support from a man who was probably kept from his daughter. Now, you know, they want to talk about Cassie this, Diddy that, but are we going to talk about the mothers who not only abuse, but allow other people to come in the home and abuse their children? Nope. Because guess what? They know that they're all complicit with it.
Stop the cap.
You know, at the end of the day, if you look at the statistics, most juvenile delinquents and most abuse victims come from single mothers' homes. Matter of fact, me and this young lady was debating about that last week on YouTube. Check this out. But don't you see the importance why I kind of bring up the fact that, you know, there should always be a man in the house and a protector and a father. You know, that way they can kind of protect their daughters. That way when they do get in a relationship with that one man, they got at least be with that one man for, you know, hopefully for the rest of their life. Because, you know, that man, you know, that father is supposed to give his daughter guidance, you know, in regard to the man that she's actually going to be with for the rest of her life. And I believe that's an aspect that the Black community, the Black households are missing. We're missing the fact that having a dominant father, you know, reigning over his family and protecting his daughters. Would you not agree or disagree that family and your family values has a lot to do with said trust issue?
I would say family has a lot to do with the Black trust issue in the Black community because it starts out with family first. I always said that a lot of our trust issues before it got to a relationship started out with our families and the peers in our families. Like not only your mom and your dad, but your sisters, your cousins, and things like that as well. The immediate family, the people that is over at your Thanksgiving dinners and share your intimate moments with you, your most intimate moments with you. Because that's beyond your mom and your dad.
Really?
So I
disagree with that. Okay.
If one is from a big family, can I put that context in there?
Sure. Like, I mean, it's your opinion. Go ahead.
It's my opinion. Like to make it subjection, so not so subjectional. If one has a big family, but yeah, I think it starts with family first, and I agree. Your father is very, very important in your life, and the men in your life for a woman is very, very important because your father set standards.
Oh, okay. All right. Can we take a scale back for a minute? I don't know why, but for some reason, it kind of, I don't know why, but my spider sense is tingling. You mentioned about, you know, the big family is important. And you said it goes further than mom and dad. The reason I kind of disagree with that because I kind of believe that, okay, if you have a mom and dad, I mean, I guess, you know, I mean, why, maybe need to elaborate, but for the most part, my dad, he never let me spend the night at, you know, no friends' houses and nothing like that. He never let me spend the night with, you know, any of our single family who had like, you know, strange men in the house. Like the only person's house who I probably spend the night was like a family relative who like, you know, someone like a known family relative. For the most part, I never had spent the nights over at anyone's houses and stuff like that. So when you kind of say big family, how does that kind of tie in? Because at the same time, I just kind of feel like my dad was able to leave myself at my aunt's or my uncle's house because, if my uncle or aunt or anybody was crazy enough to touch me, they had to deal with my big ass 250, 300-pound daddy. So, I mean, can you elaborate about how the big family is important? Because the only reason why I kind of picked up on that is because I kind of feel that sometimes our parents might lean on other family members to watch us. And sometimes that kind of maybe keeps us susceptible to a bad or toxic environment because that's an uncontrolled environment. Would you mind elaborating a little bit on that?
I'm gonna get anecdotal. And for those that don't know what anecdotal is, that means personal. That means my own experience, not the average experience and things like that. But from my anecdotal experience, when I say your immediate family, is because I kind of grew up in a big ass household with a bunch of family. Like, so it wasn't just me and it wouldn't be just me and my parents. It'd be me, my grandparents, my uncle. Like, we kind of grew up Mexican like. There's a bunch of families in one house. So in Philadelphia at the time, it was not only my family that was like that. My family was only like that because it was single moms in that situation. Like, but other families had like mom, dad, uncle, grandma.
So, I gotta break in. I'm going to widescreen here for that. So, do you see how she mentioned that it was single mothers in the household, not a dad around? I just want y'all to peep that. And I do want to go to the comment section. Aviator View Sound said, yo, what's up? Man, I appreciate you for tuning in to another episode. You know what I'm saying? Another Righteous Fear production. You already done know.
I mean, like, it was just a bunch of them motherfuckers in one house. And a lot of, when the kids, and this is just my anecdotal experience. When we got together in our little hut and we started sharing stories about what goes on in our house, a lot of shit got exposed. And it wasn't mom having boyfriends or dad having girlfriends. It was cousin, brother, uncle, Tom, like family members type abuse. But it wasn't really abuse because it was so ancestral. Do you understand?
I do. So no, I think no. You know what?
But that's what I'm like. So even with the nuclear, like with our family, it's not super like nuclear in the way that Americans think it, where it's just mom and dad and sister and brother. Our family member, our community don't work like that. It really be other immediate ass family that make up these statistics of these crazy ass shit going on in our family. And that's because we kind of overlook that uncle that like to touch people, that uncle that always want, or that cousin that you let babysit every fucking body while the grown folks was doing the grown folk shit. You know,
right?
Even in the Latino family, they got the same shit because we're super close knit. So you can't go to that stereotype of single mom letting Tom, Dick, and Harry, or you can't always go to that all the time. And that's my anecdotal experience
and I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on that because at the end of the day, she's trying to skirt the fact that whatever personal experience that she went through was on the watch of her mother. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the news thing I watched, anybody who's really abused, if you look at the statistics, come from single mothers. And yes, the mother had to go to work. The mother had to leave him with an uncle. The mother had to leave with an aunt who had access to an uncle who was unrelated to him. And maybe some various things happened. But at the end of the day, this all happened because the mother chose to be independent and not have the father in the household. But, unfortunately, it's always Jermaine's fault.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Let's go to the chat. Carl Myers says salute to the chat. Carl Myers also says salute to XL Pro, and he says salute to Aviator Sounds.
And I said that, and I let
You know what? I think that's the part where I think that last part is where I disagree with you on. I actually believe that actually kind of goes to my point, because let's just be real. When it is abuse within minority homes, especially Black homes, yes, we don't know whether it's not necessarily always the boyfriend. Yes, it could be a family member, but we cannot afford to overlook the fact that the main catalyst, or the main reason why our kids are able to be abused by other family members is because of the fact that there's no father in the home. We cannot discount that. We have to admit to that.
I can't admit to that because family create trust. Even a father would trust that situation. I seen fathers brokenhearted because of situations going down, and they didn't even think that shit would happen that way.
Well, you know,
So,
okay, I get what you
know,
I get what you hold on.
Daddies that didn't know, like.
I get your point, Morphe. I totally understand what you're saying. I totally understand your point, but at the same time, we can't keep on falling on it. See, here's the thing: we can't keep on falling. I don't know if it. Here's the thing: I think I'm saying the loud part, the quiet part out loud. People don't want to admit that. People don't want to admit the lack of having a father. Here's the thing: yes, can a family member still abuse someone? And a father still be involved in the child's life? Yes, but we're not talking about the exception to the rule, because guess what? The exception to the rule. Hold on. Let me get my point.
Okay.
The exception to the rule actually proves the rule, because statistics prove most abuse victims come from single parent households. Most PDF files and MS stations come from single family homes. We cannot just keep on this guy. We can't keep on saying, well, sometimes with the father does this, and sometimes, it happens because the father does that.
I get what you're saying, Dave.
Yeah.
You can't discredit that. Yeah. You can't discredit that. But we can't discredit the fact.
See, it kind of goes back to the fact that even she doesn't want to admit that most of the abuse situations happen when there's no father around. And that's undeniable. Undeniable. Matter of fact, what's actually also crazy is the fact that, the reason why they don't want to admit to it is because, let's just be real. Being a single mother, you're in a losing position.
Emotional damage.
It's hard to get a man. You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to be independent of your man who you probably dumped because you obviously couldn't take his lead. And now your kids are susceptible to said abuse. And it's something that, it's been happening. There's a lot of DCF cases where, the mother, deletes the kids, abuse the kids. A lot of kids get abused by strangers and boyfriends all the time. But, they're always going to cap. But we don't allow that over here.
Stop the cap.
There's a reason why, all those women and everybody assimilated to Precious. Is because at the end of the day, whether you want to go try to make up a story about how the father was one who impregnated Precious, blah, 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 we all know that most single mothers allow their kids to get touched on by their boyfriends. Anyway, man, I thank you for tuning in. Once again, it's Cali West. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you're feeling this shit, I'm out, G. Gone.